we're going to cover two other attacks from the same position. We're going to do a quick armbar with the legs, and then we're going to look at transitioning from that position to the crucifix. So we're going to start off again in the same position in turtle. This is just something that happens on the way, both to the previous technique and sometimes on purpose. So I'm still controlling the same kind of way. Again, she might reach between my legs, but if she doesn't, I'm just going to force it the same way. The right knee cuts into this gap. Here, ball, slide, and we can use a hand. Most commonly it's heel to elbow, dragging it across. Now, in this moment here, where the arm hasn't yet turned around, we can basically catch her wrist with my ankle, and I can basically sprawl my hips directly through her elbow. This is very, very short and somewhat aggressive, but it is something that does come available fairly often. Things taken into account. Number one, obviously you need to respect your partner's tap and general health. Number two, if they are again significantly shorter than you, you will have a very hard time catching their elbow. If they're lankier, it's actually easier for this one, so it's quite nice to have people who are a lot taller than you. If you have short legs and they have long arms, this is much easier than the opposite. So all I'm looking to do here is, again, before her hand turns around. A lot of the time, particularly my personal response to this position from bottom, is if this happens, I will immediately turn my hand behind because of the threat. Again, this is not fun, but it is at least controlled. The other way, they can just go straight through your elbow and cause a lot of damage very quickly. So I personally would probably turn my hand around immediately as a counter to it. But again, if the hand happens to be forwards, in this moment, again, I will slide my heel backwards. I will try and lift a little bit because I need space to drop my hips through, and then I will basically sprawl directly through her elbow. The angle will vary a bit depending on exactly where her elbow is, but the primary aim is to lift, to flare a little bit, and to drop my hips down. There. Okay, that will come on very, very fast because again, your hips are going directly through the elbow. The angle will change a bit. Sometimes you might be here, you might be here, but once you go all the way, sometimes you will see guys finish it this way, but again, the more space you make, the more likely the wrist begins to turn, at which point you change, you gather, and you end up back where we were previously. So, that's the first part, which is the armbar from there, but the thing is, that's generally the stronger attack in terms of getting an immediate response, but this is the easier control, because now her elbow is kind of turned backwards, there's a lot more connection here, it's easier just to stop the arm from slipping out. The other one is very aggressive, but if you miss it, it will slip. Here we have more points of contact. So now, we have a bunch of things that we can do from here depending on exactly where her angle is, but right now we're just going to go for the slightly acrobatic rolling over for the crucifix approach. So usually for this, personally, I'm going to grab hold of the wrist and her wrist and my own wrist in the Kimura grip here, but you can grab around the head, you can take a harness, you can hook the far arm, all of those are valid in their own way. I find this generally the strongest though, because this is a very versatile grip. So once I have this, I'm going to again bring my body weight over, I'm going to begin to swing my head down and lift up with my back heel to start to lift this shoulder higher than the other one. I'm just going to roll all the way over the top, and arrive here. To place me in a position where I have both this arm trapped here and the Kimura grip on this side. This means again I can give good control of this side of the body, and this arm is still kept trapped in the same kind of way. Again, if you want to, you can start messing around with your controls here. I still generally prefer the hand pointing downwards. I feel I have better control, but both ways are valid, and there is actually a submission the other way around where we can start trying to do Americanas and things on the arm from this angle. But generally, downwards is better for control. Once we're here, again, we can start controlling on this, usually. Then we start digging behind the head, we control the wrist, and we go looking for a collar grip, for a gi choke, or if you're being a little bit more violent about it, again, you keep coming around and go for a one-handed rear naked choke from here. Okay? By controlling this hand, again, usually across the fingers, you have a lot of, it shuts down their defense very easily. You don't want to grab too high up here, because then they'll start circling out, or they'll just trap your wrist. This is very, very strong. Let's just steer things around. And then just keep this control and just dig and see what you can get. Again, collar is fine if you can get it. You can go both collars and try and go from there. You can even transition out of the position. But again, probably the safest, although a little harder to do, is just to keep this and then just dig one hand in, dig it in, back into collar, and then just choke partly the throat. And if you want to let go of this and go to the full rear naked, you can. But I personally tend to do this the one hand because it tends to get the job done pretty simply. Again, from here we have this arm still trapped, and at any point we want to try and bail ourselves back out, we can. Again, adjust, we can try and keep the harness on, we can lose the arm here, and we can still sit up and control as appropriate, and make any other back attacks But that's two different attacks that you can do from the turtle position, the armbar with the legs, and then transitioning to the crucifix, in this case with the Kimura grip.